Ruchama.
Did you read that article that I
Yes,
sent?
of course I did.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
He says, the Jewish vision is that the lamb will live with the wolf. The Islam vision is we kill all the Jews.
Tabach Yehud. יש לי שאלה השקפתי. שאלתי.
You want a cup of tea?
לא. שאלתי, do you live to learn or you learn to live? האם יש נפקא מינה בזה? What would you say you do?
Do you live to learn?
Or you learn to live?
Do you live to learn? Or do you learn to live?
זה כשמו שראיתי מישהו על הפירות. יש מישהו...
Isn't it obvious?
Okay, let me hear what's obvious.
It says Chazal said. What's the expression?
וחי בהם.
No, that כך נולדתי Torah היא וללמוד אני צריך. The person is La'amal Yulad. He's born.
Adam la'amal yulad.
He's
Amela
born.
shel Torah.
He's born to have a medicine Torah, so he lives to learn.
Just like יש כאלו שאומרים ברכה, יש כאלו שמחפשים פר, למה? פרי, להגיד ברכה.
That's the story of David Karlin.
Yeah.
With the Shamish. Says to him, he asked him for an apple. Then he makes the bracha, eats the apple. He sees that the Shamish is standing there looking at him. And he knows what the Shamish is thinking. The Shamish is thinking, the Rebbe eats an apple? I eat an apple. I'm like the Rebbe. We both eat apples. So he was margish, so he called him over. Yankel, let me tell you the difference between you and me. He says that when you want to eat an apple, you make a bracha. When I want to make a bracha, I need an apple.
That's exactly so. That's the way I look at the live to learn to live. But I also ended off with a nigun.
A nigun rikud.
Ki hem chayeinu, v'yorech yameinu, u'haem nege yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayeinu, v'yorech yameinu, v'yorech yameinu, u'haem nege yomam v'layla.
Ay,
ki hem chayeinu, v'yorech yameinu, v'haem nege yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayeinu, v'yorech yameinu, v'haem nege yomam v'layla. אז אני חשבתי על המילה אורך. אורך means the length. אבל גם כן אורך, שורש המילה זה אור. So what is the length of days? Really אורכה. אורך, the אור of Kodesh Baruch Hu is the אורך.
That's interesting.
That's what I thought. I also wanted to begin the shir, נבח אמרתי לך שלא ידעת שאתמול היה אסון גדול, לא אסון, היה לי את זכות לעלייה היום, וחשבתי, אחרי שמה שקרה לנו, ואמרו שהיה צריך חס ושלום לא עלינו, ש1.5 מיליון אנשים היו צריכים ככה קורבן עם כל 331 טילים. אז אמרתי שניצלנו, יש חיוב, ברכה, להגיד, גומר שאמרתי, כולם שאלו אותי, למה אמרת? אמרתי ש- I had everybody in mind, יוסי אחרים. ומה הראיה מזה? הראיה מזה שבאמת דיברו על הניסים מה היה, ואתמול רק כטב"ם אחד היה 14 לוחמים שנפצעו בערב על הרמש, בהם אחד אנוש, כפי שהוא יהיה רפואה שלמה, וארבע קשה בגליל המערבי מפיצוץ הכטב"ם Hazeh Katbam, Kli Tayas Bilti Milash, unmanned air vehicle, UAV. ואיפה זה היה? במתנ"ס, מרכז, תרבות, נוער, ספורט. So it's a big קהילה.
How did it cross the gvul without anybody knowing about it?
The question is, you're right. They say, why wasn't it spotted? Because it's basically right next door to each other. This Arab village is right next to Lebanon. So it went right over the border, and they knew, and they most probably had inside information. The whole thing is very, 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 very serious, and only, to me, emphasizes the Hatzalah that we had. Kadosh Baruch Hu Yishmerenu Kol Yom. Guess whose yahrzeit is today? Besides Reb Sholem Mashash, the Rebbitzin of this person was my Shatchan, Rav Henoch ben David Leibovitz, Rosh Yeshiva Chavetz Chaim in New York, נולד ב-1918 ונפטר ב-2008. ב-1933 נוסד לישיבה על ידי אביו, רב דוד ורשבה, בתור ודס. הסיפור שאבי, עליו השלום, למד אצל רב דוד, והם היו בתור ודס, ואיך אומרים, נפרדו והקימו מתור ודס ב-South 9th Street בוויליאמסבורג את ישיבת חפץ חיים. ועל שם דודו, הרב חפץ חיים, שנפטר באותו שנה, זאת אומרת 1933. כשנפטר אביו ב-1941, רב הנך היה לראש ישיבה. He also had the idea, כמו Chabad, that they set up branches of Chabad all over the world, so Chavetz Chaim all over the U.S. הפיץ ישיבות בכל ארצות הברית בקנדה. אשתו ראשון פשע נפטרה ב-2002, and she was 2002.
Wife?
Yes, her first wife. He had a second wife too. But the first wife was the shadchan between me and Chana, Baruch Hashem.
Really?
Yes, yeah, Zocher. And okay, so we should say the Kapitel Tehillim, and in honor, how do you say, for the Psuim, we should have them in mind. Schus. Be a schus for them. I wish I had the names. They didn't publish. Hutar lePirsum, but they didn't mention names at all.
You know the name of this place? What's the name of it?
Of the what?
Place that we're at. This
The place? Village. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what it was.
What was it called?
It's called Aleph Lamed hyphen Aramsha. Ayin Reish Aleph Mem Shin.
Ayin Reish Aleph
Mem Shin O Aleph O Hey. Aramsha. Al Aramsha. It's got to be an Arab village close to the border. Ramazeh Beginos Mizmor David Perak Dalit. Koreanani LA Yixiki Batsor Kaftali Khanani Fatimosi. Meish Admech Rodi Lichlima Shetevon Mikvitz Bashu Kazav Lukif Lo Adonai Chasid Lo Adonai Yishma B'Koyelo Rigzu Val Techto Emru Vavchem Al Mishkavchem Dimosalo Zikusim V'dei Seder B'Kvel Adonai Rabim Omrim Mi Yirenim Tov V'Sasal Ena Open Adonai Asata Simcha B'Libi Me'eis Dagan M'Likum Shoshim Rabbo V'Shom Yachta V'Shkaveshon Yachta Adonai V'Adcha V'Vodad L'Vetach Toshimeni L'Vodav L'Vetach Toshieni Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael Anesunim B'Tzara Tzara U'Bashirya Omdim Ben Bayam U'Ben Bayabasha Amakom Yerachem Aleim
V'tzieh mitzara
Lerevacha
Me'yafel le'oiva U'mishibu le'geula hashta
Magolo
U'vizman
Kariv V'nomar Amen Masha ראיתם זה צבי רצה לדעת איפה זה היה אז
It's even more north than Chanita. Chanita is
they said Galilee, they said Marav Galilee.
maybe it's
They said it was the West Galilee, Marav Galilee.
this
That's what they said. Okay, so before we'll speak about Rav Shlomo Mashash later, we have to learn Shmiras Hashon. And today is Yud Nisan, Shomer Piv L'shono, Mitzorot Nafsho. A person who watches his mouth is saved from tzoros of his nefesh. V'afal pikein, Yeda Korea Na'im, Ki afilu Yisa Sefer Chim Be'einav Be'ezras Barach. The person finds that what he's writing, Shmiras Hashon, is, he appreciates it. You shouldn't think that just reading it, learning it, is enough. You live to learn or learn to live. You definitely should review the first two halakim that we learned, the Chavetz Chaim, which has Lashon Hara and Rechilas. K'isa b'midrash mishlei, l'das chachma u'musar. Im yesh biyado shel adam chachma, im en biyado shel adam chachma, as mishlei, en yachol lilmod musar, v'akavana hu pshuta. Im utar b'zeh be'ikar din. You could have all the musar in the world, but if you don't know halacha, lo yil lo shumusar. Kagom shechoshe be'itzko al ezer davar, shena b'chlal gezel. You think that, I'm going to do this business transaction. There's no gezel involved. My ilo im yilma kolinei musar. And if you learn all the musar in the world, and you'll know it's not a terrible thing to steal, and you'll think because this thing is not gezel, this iskar, and yet it could be gezel. You like that? You got to know the whole Torah. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Not ignorance is bliss, but the famous ignorance of the law is no excuse. So he's telling you, Shmiras Hashon is like a Sefer Musar, and from there you get an inspiration to learn halacha. And you're looking at the map and trying to figure out something. Yeah, I think you have over there they told you
it's just on the border. It's on the Lebanese border. It's not the Western Galilee. Yes, Chanita, that's a kibbutz on the border.
Right.
And then it's to the right of that. There it is there.
For some reason they call it Western Galilee. But anyway, it is on the border, and that's why it could come right over without any warning. And they could also see them.
Oh yeah, they don't have to come over. They could do it from there.
From there, right.
From there,
I'm saying come over the UAV. They can control it, and right now
it doesn't have to cross into Israeli territory.
You mean it could just send its whatever?
It can fire the missiles.
Fire the missiles from there.
Sure. If this is the same place, this is the Aramsha.
Anyway, when I first heard about it, I didn't think it was any of our casualties. Then I found out it was Chayalim B'Miluim, and they were serving, but they were in a community center. That's what it was, a community center. Hashem Yerachem, Rachem Aleinu. Okay. Shenishma b'met b'sorot tovot.
Amen.
Yud Nisan, Yud Nisan is really the day of Shabbos HaGadol, is the day when we took the keves, right? Yud Nisan.
Yud Nisan.
אלה שצריכים לזכור.
Also Miriam's Yortzeit.
Miriam's Yortzeit.
Miriam Neviah.
Shabbos HaGadol.
Oh, you didn't mention her. Yortzeit.
Now I'm going to mention Miriam Neviah Yortzeit today, Yud Nisan.
Because that's what the Tao says.
And this is Zachor L'cha.
They'll wonder why we say like Shabbos HaGadol, where it was Yud Nisan, wasn't Shabbos HaGadol. That year it turned out it was Shabbos, right?
That's right, it was Shabbos.
But it wasn't Yud Nisan is that year was Yud Nisan was Shabbos, but it's not every year. But he mentions here that
you need the 4 days for the Bikur of the Korban, right? And we did. B'damaya Chayim, B'damaya Chayim. We had the Dam Milah and the Dam Pesach. Okay. Bohen. Okay. Yom Tov. High five. Hi Chumash. Here we go. Okay, again. Tzrichim Lagid Refuah Shlema Le Ve'ira Sora Basfredo Chana Ve Gam Ve Michael Ben Naomi Sora Ve Refuah Shlema V'chol Psuei Chalal במיוחד אלה שנפצעו אתמול עם הפצצה שהיה שמה. Okay. Good morning, Yecheskel. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so we have to continue Shmiras Hashon. Okay. V'hachanami b'inyanenu d'ma yoyelo kol ha'moseh shabol ha'madamrim godel isur lashon hara v'chilas. What good is learning Shmiras Hashon without knowing the hilchos of the Chofetz Chaim? Achrei shehitir v'nafshe lomar she'ein davar zeh b'chlal lashon hara. If you say that this is not lashon hara, so what good is it learning Musar? O she'al ish kazeh lo tzivsa ha'torah b'isur lashon hara. Al kein muchrecha adam leida. Therefore, you have to know the halachas. And in order to overpower the Yetzer Hara, l'kayim mashalo made yira lilmod as a musav who go to onesh v'sachar sheish ben zeh gam to'eles midias adinim le'idach gisa k'dei shelo yovo la'achmir al atzmo. That's not a mitzvah. Some people, they'll say, oh, I can't say anything at all because it's Lashon Hara, and turns out it's a mitzvah, l'ganoso, to, like a apikoros, for example, or if there's a toelis, kadei shelo yavu l'hatos l'rabim b'deos v'kozvos, and you might want to inform others of this person's nefariousness because of his corrupt ideas. V'o toelis ayin b'hakdamas ha'sefer Chofetz Chaim. עד כאן הלימוד של היום ביוד ניסן. עכשיו, יש לנו יורצייט של רב שלום משאש, בן רבי מימון משאש, נולד במורוקו, ב-1908. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning.
ונפטר בירושלים ביום יוד ניסן, שזה היום, ב-2003. 2003. נקרא על שם סבו רב שלום, מחבר ספר דברי שלום. אביו רב מימון, מחבר ספר אוצרות שמיים, היה רב במקנס. רב שלום היה מצאצאיו של רבי רפאל ברודני, רפאל המלך, מגדולי הרבנים, מחבר שואל תשובות משפטים ישרים. בן דודו של רב שלום היה רב יוסף משאש, רבו של חיפה, מחבר שואל תשובות מים חיים. רבו המובהק של רב שלום היה רב יצחק אסבג, הוא למד אצל רב מאיר טולידנו עד גיל 14. רב שלום כבר בגיל 17 חיבר חלק מספרו מזרח שמש, וזה 3 משמש. ומגיל צעיר החל בניהול בית ספר תלמוד תורה בעיר מקנס. הרב משאש היה חלה מחלת הטיפוס. לאחר שנרפא ממחלה בשנת 1944 הקים את ישיבת כסר תורה במקנס. אחרי שנבחן בגיל 39 התקבל להיות דיין בקזבלנקה. 13 שנים אחר כך בגיל 52, זאת אומרת בשנת 1960, נבחן לכהן כרב ראשי ראש אבות בדידים בקזבלנקה. המשך כיהן כרב ראשי של מרוקו. לאחר ניסיונות שונים להעביר לחיפה כרב ראשי עלה הרב משאש לארץ ישראל בשנת 1978 לכהן כרב הראשי ספרדי של ירושלים. בתפקידו זה כיהן על פירותו. חוסיין מלך מרוקו ליווה אותו לשדה התעופה. המלך אף ביקש מהרב משאש רמח לבני צאצאו. אז יש הרבה יותר ללמוד, ואני ממליץ שילמדו את הגיליון של היום שאנחנו נביא בצ'אט. אז אני מאחל לכולם יום טוב, שבועות טובות.